nuts!
Thanks, Nari.
Dear Lord.
There goes that dust you needed.
I honestly doubt you were gonna give it to me anyways.
All right. We'll dive in here pretty quick. So we are short one. Crap, I can't remember his new name that he goes by.
Goblin, formerly known as Milla, Gobx Varn.
No, his new streaming handle. The player, not the character.
The Frungler.
I don't know.
Bumblebee or whatever his name is not here to play Gobs, so we are short him tonight. But we will go ahead and play anyways. So talk to him a little bit. We know what's going on with that, but we'll go ahead and dive in to our session. When last we saw our heroes, Nate the Human Ranger, Gobs the Lizard Folk Warlock, Othokent the Lizard Folk Life Domain Cleric, Talah the Half-Orc Druid, and Abraham the Human Wizard. The group had their last stand against the one and only Heart of Winter. They were able to overcome him and return back home to begin to rest and relax before deciding what to do next. The group got together with Talah's father, enjoyed some cigars, some good food, and some alcohol, while Abraham snuck into the local bar, tavern, and sunk into himself, dealing with the after effects of some of the comments from the Heart of Winter. And that's where we will pick up today.
Alright.
So first and foremost, I couldn't decide whose character would be better for this. So the first thing I need is I need both Othokent and Talah to roll a flat d20 for me.
Well, that's not gonna
It's
go
flat,
well
you
for
can't
me.
roll it.
Yeah. Wow, really good rolls on both our parts.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I'm used to it. What happened to you?
I sneezed. Yach!
Do it again without the sneeze.
No.
Hold on just a second.
Something's messed up with my damn character leveler thing.
Can one of you two talk again?
La 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 la.
There we go. All right. One of my sound things was messed up. All right. So, Talah,
Yeah.
sleeping in your own room, quietly. You wake up in the before dawn, early hours of the day, and you smell bacon.
I will go to the kitchen because that's weird.
As you walk into the kitchen, you see a stranger standing over the stove. This person's a human. They stand about 6'2" shoulder length brown hair, kind of stringy, right? But not like dirty or anything, right? It's clean. He's cooking. You can see there's scrambled eggs. There's bacon. The other thing you'll notice about him is he is wearing a tie-dyed t-shirt that says, "I went to a Raf Splendid concert and all I got is this Radical t-shirt on it." And then a list of tour stops on the back. Kind of tight, skinny jeans. Just normal canvas kind of Converse-like shoes. And you are very quickly noticing he is making breakfast sandwiches. He goes, "Oh, Talah, you're awake. Here, this one's yours. Do you have a basket? Because I've made one for Abraham, and I made one for me."
Who are you? And why aren't you in my kitchen?
Oh, I'm here because I need you to come help Abraham. Eno, by the way. And he holds out his hand to you.
I'll shake his hand.
Fantastic. We'll just paper towels. Where do you keep the paper towels?
In the left drawer.
Oh, he pulls that. Oh, fantastic. Just wrap that up. All right. So here's Abraham's, and she hands you a sandwich. It goes, here's yours. Do you want yours wrapped up, or are you going to eat it while we walk over there?
I'm confused. I'm sorry. You're Inu as in one of the 5. Did Carrie send you?
Oh, Carry On, my brother? No, he doesn't. He can't send me anywhere. No, I kind of go and do what I need to do, and right now we need to go help Abraham. So again, do you want to wrap the sandwich, or do you just want to eat it while we're walking? It might get cold.
I'll eat it, I guess.
And yeah, as you start to say, he just sticks the sandwich in your mouth. He goes, "You can hold it right there. Here's the other half. I cut it. I like the triangles because then you get that soft bread side. It's pretty neat. Yeah, let's go." And he just kind of hooks your arm and kind of starts walking towards the door with you. So how's Gob's been? I haven't gotten to talk to her since all that weird stuff happened back in Neap. Has she been good?
That's debatable, but she's doing all right.
That's good to hear. So here's the thing, Nari. Abraham's in trouble. What? Nari, sorry, Talah. Abraham's in trouble, and I think he's going to need your help. So come on.
Oh, okay.
And he's saying that to you as he's dragging you down the street towards the bar. You know, see, with everything you and your friends are going through, right? Different people in your group kind of have different purposes. And Abraham is kind of your arcane side of everything. And you're really going to need him soon, right? Not that you haven't, right? Because he's been doing some awesome stuff for you. I've been hearing all the cool stuff you guys have been doing. Really hyped for you guys. Yeah, he's having I think it's called like a crisis of confidence. So what we're gonna do is he was having bad dreams tonight, and I'm gonna kind of sort of help you get into those dreams to be there to support him if he needs you.
I'm unsure if I'm the right person to do that.
Oh, come on. Everybody loves Talah. Come on, Talah. Come on.
I mean, he's more attached to Gobs.
Yeah, but she's doesn't have the most gentle touch, and I think this is going to require a gentle touch. Yeah,
I mean, of literally everyone, he's known me the shortest amount of time.
Right, but he kind of looks at you as like your connection with Lily and all of that. Your connection there reminds him of something. He's forgotten what that something is, but he's going to remember it tonight. And look, I wouldn't have come and gotten you versus everybody else if there wasn't a good reason for it. Okay?
I'm just afraid I'm going to mess it up.
Name one thing you've messed up. Other than not eating the other half of the sandwich. But that's okay. I can heat it back up. Fantastic. And he opens the door to the inn. So you know this is the inn/pub. And yes, I'm well aware, Abraham, that it was locked, that you did not unlock it. He opens the door without any trouble. And you come in, you immediately are hit with the smell of strong alcohol. As you see, sitting in a chair by the fire is Abraham, and he is kind of rocked back in the chair, passed out with a bottle of strong whiskey that has fallen out of his hand, and what little was left in the bottle has come out of it, and it's just there on the floor. Whew, he's in rough shape. Rough shape. Poor guy. He's had such a hard time. I think he'll do better once he remembers.
I mean, last time when we last saw him, he wanted to be left alone.
Yeah, and I understand that, but I don't really think you guys have that much time to do that kind of inner soul searching, not with some of the things that are going on. So, hey, do me a quick favor. I'm gonna help you out with this, okay? So, I promised everything will be okay, and I promise on a handshake. And he puts his hand out to you.
Well, you're the protector of life, I guess. And I'll shake his hand.
As you shake his hand, he goes, "See, that's what they keep saying. We'll see how it turns out." And then he puts his other hand on Abraham, and everything goes dark
The
immediately.
fuck?
Abraham.
He killed us both!
So, for this section, Nari.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm talking to Nari. Picture Talah as being outside of the scene, and if you feel the need to step in, you are able to do so. Okay?
Okay.
So, but you can only step in to help once.
Okay, so I'm a spectator.
You're
basically.
a spectator who can step in to help one time.
Okay.
Abraham.
Yes.
You remember sitting down in the chair, you remember drinking, and suddenly you feel really nauseous, like you've got to throw up.
Mm-hmm.
You lean over the guardrail and throw up. And then you stand up and you realize, wait a minute, guardrail? Wait, what's that salty smell? It's nighttime and you're on the ocean. You're on a ship.
Kind of ship.
Looks like a fairly basic cargo ship. A little bit older design from what you're used to seeing, but you've seen ships like this 100 times come in and out of Neap. You're standing at about midship, and you see up near the main cabin, a big burly man steps out onto the deck and goes, "Grissom! I know you paid for voyage here, but everybody has to do their job, so stow that line."
Well,
As you start to turn to look for the line, a skinny young man pipes out and goes, I got it. I'm trying to get it down." And you can see a skinny, kind of sandy blonde, long-haired young man, probably in his mid-20s. Simple linen clothes, nothing fancy, but not like destitute. Trying to cinch up a line, and he obviously needs help.
okay, so there's going to be a couple quick presumptions being made here to go along with things.
Mm-hmm.
He's been teleported, transported, or in some sort of alternate dimension. Until he figures out what's going on, the idea should be to go along with it to prevent issues until he can figure it out, at which point he might make decisions of his own. So he's going to listen to the captain or whoever this guy is, I'm assuming the captain, and silently help. He's not going to say anything because he doesn't want to say anything. He's just going to be observing his surroundings, watching movements of the ship and what people are doing, if they even are people, and just play along. So he goes to help the young boy.
All right. So he's got his foot braced up and he's trying to cinch up this winch that's holding down one of the windlasses. And so how are you going to assist him?
Give him the if he's
There's enough slack on the rope where it'd be easy for you to grab a hold and help pull if that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I'll just keep it simple and just help pull, and use his extra strength to help.
Go ahead and give me an athletics check with advantage. Yep. Between you and him, you're able to sink in, and he does that thing. How you get the rope over your shoulder and turn the other way, and kind of put your weight into it, and really use his legs to pull it. And you hear it click, 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 and then a clack as it locks in place. And when it does, he kind of falls, and you kind of fall, and you're just kind of laying on the deck together. He goes, "Oh, this is a lot harder than studying back home. I appreciate your help. I'm sorry, I don't think I've met you. I thought I met all the crew. Abraham Grissom, how are you?" He holds his hand out to you.
Does he look familiar?
It's a face you've almost forgotten because it's been so long since you looked that young.
This is not me pausing in game. This is me thinking real quick. Wasn't expecting that. So, So he's going to assume a fake name. I was debating whether or not to tell him that he was also Abe, but I think I'm just going to use a fake name. The name's Vincent. Nice to meet you.
Vincent, huh? I know a guy named Vincent. Lives in town. Mean shop owner of a magic shop I have to go into for my books. Oh, but you got to do what you got to do, huh? Speaking of which, aren't you have an old timer like you out here still working these fishing trawlers? That's kind of crazy. Is that by choice, or just times that tough out in Neap, huh?
It's the sea is in my blood. It's just my passion, and when I can get out on the ocean, I do.
Hey, I could understand that. It's my first time seeing it, but I get it. I get it, right? All that
Is this
wonder,
the day?
all that new stuff, right?
Is this the day? This is the day, isn't it?
You don't remember the day, and it's nighttime. So no, it's not the day. It's the night.
Wow.
So
Cute.
he stands up and puts his hand. Well, let me get your hand up here, huh?
Yeah, I take his hand and pull myself up. Yeah.
He's kind of looking out over the rails. He goes, and it's kind of a clear night, so you can see all the stars. You can see it reflecting off the water and everything. I think I understand what you mean. It's so peaceful out here. Tabby said I would hate it out here, and that I should just stay home. But I just feel like something was calling me. That, do you say that out loud?
No, I'm asking if I remember these names that he's bringing up.
You don't.
Is this actually a section of my life that's being repeated in front of me, or is this something else?
Remember, you don't remember much from before the accident. You don't remember much for about a dozen years after it either.
Right. Just seeing if something we're able to trick memories out.
Yeah. There's something about that name just echoes in your brain.
Who's Tabby?
Oh, it's my older sister. She's a big cleric back in the city, and she's been taking care of me since we were little, or I was little. She's never really been. Well, it's a confusing thing. Mom and dad died, and I was the oops baby, right? So older sister, she's like 18 years older than me or so. So I kind of grew up with her. She's my sister, but she's the closest thing to a mom I've ever had. And she thought this, coming out here trying to go meet this professor and these people that are out here on Neap for some of this deep sea research stuff, it was too dangerous. But I have a calling. I'm going to be something special. I decided that a long time ago, and I don't know what it is, but something makes me feel like I need to be out here. So that's what I'm doing, right? I'm not tied down to anything. Why not go and adventure and see the world, right? When you were young, right? That's probably how you fell in love with the ocean. Same thing, right? Packed up your stuff and said, you know what? I'm going to go make my own path in the world, and nothing's going to stop me. And look at you, right? Look at you. You're still out here on the ocean. Do what you want to do. That's it. That's perfect. That's everything, right?
I suppose. I mean, having the agency to take whatever action you want to enrich your life. I guess that's the point. Yeah, kind of says that inwardly to himself.
And with all the chaos that's in the city, with Gilgamesh being gone now and all, we've got to, those of us who have gifts have to do what we can do, and I was born, with the ability to do magic. So, there's not a lot of documentation about the sea folk that live out in Neap and some of the cool stuff they can do with arcane magic and water and breathing and some of their healing techniques and whatnot. So I'm going to go document it. It's summer, right? What are you supposed to, I'm not a party guy, right? I'm not going to go out with all my friends during summer break from the university and go have, do all that reckless stuff, right? I've got a greater purpose in life than that. But, you know how they are. They just worry about us, I guess. So, but I'll show her. We'll get back there just fine. I'll have the book. I'll be able to teach her some things, Miss All-Powerful Cleric, right? Of the Wild Mother. What's a Wild Mother know about the arcane anyways? It's silly. So
probably more than you realize. That's why knowledge is important.
No, that's true. That's true. I should. That's right. I got to keep an open mind. I don't need to assume I know everything. I still have a lot to learn. So, what brought you upon the tortoise? Other than just coming out here. And when you hear that name, you get a flashback of being in the water and seeing the hull completely vertical as the word tortoise painted on the side of a cargo ship sinks below the ocean.
I'm just your old salty sea dog. I'm just out here doing my job.
You see anything interesting out here?
Neap. The ocean has a mind of its own. And it's like staring into a fire sometimes. You never know what to expect when you're out here. It's always good to be ready. I think that's why it draws me in.
And
draws me in.
Yep.
It draws me in just like staring into a fire. You watch it and you try to understand it. There's much life underneath it. Many mysteries down below.
Yeah. Like, look at that. Right? Who knows what it is that's making that glow down there in the water?
Could be magic. Could be sea creatures. You know there's some sea creatures that produce their own light?
Yeah. Do they come up to the surface?
Rarely.
Because that one's getting bigger.
You might want to hold on to something.
Look at this.
No,
And
you might want to hold on to something. This isn't
he
natural.
turns around and goes, "What are you talking about?" And right then, the entire ocean lights up. That pale, bright, sickly light, and then a sudden snap as a bolt of energy pops up all around you, and a almost cutting blade of water shoots straight through the ship at midships, cutting the ship in half. And the entire ocean swells, and everything kind of plops back, and you're jolted down to your feet. Give me a dexterity saving throw to see if you're able to keep on your feet. Yeah, you're barely able to keep up. You can see young Abraham twists his ankle and hits the deck pretty hard as the ship begins to tilt and lean. He goes, "No, my books. I've got to get my books." And he gets up and begins to dash towards the hatch to go down.
There's very much something that I want to do. Does Abe have his stuff with him?
He does.
So that means he's not just transported in body to whatever this is. He's fully there with all of his equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Is the light subsided and gone? Is it still surrounding the boat?
No, the light is gone. It was a sudden surge of arcane energy, and the water that was displaced by it snapped the ship in half.
Okay. So Abe is... He doesn't know what effect this is going to have upon if this is a time warp. He would have liked to have known more about what's going on to figure out if this is a delusion or memory or a time warp. Little Abe's getting vortex warped into the ocean.
He is already out of sight as he like ran through the door and went quick.
Gotcha.
So he's not within your line of sight, and the ship is
Follow
beginning
him.
to start to tilt. Okay.
Follow
So
him.
you go dashing down the hallways. You can hear him ahead of you, but you never do get more than a brief flash of where he is. And what's weird is as you're running through the guts of the ship, you know where you're going. You don't remember knowing where you're going, but you know where you're going. And the ship begins to tilt, and you can see young Abraham. He's up through a seal, like a hatch you would seal. He goes, Vincent, come on. And he's holding his hand out to try to help you up as you're struggling, as water is beginning to climb up behind you.
We need to exit this ship. We need to get out of here. We can't go be sucked down with it.
We'll have to figure that out here in a second because the way out is below you in the water. So come on.
I could make a way out. Just come with me.
Look, I got to get my books.
They're not going to be worth anything if you're dead in the process of trying to get them. We have to leave.
At that point, the water begins to swell up, and it's starting to get around your knees and feet, and the ship is starting to go under. So, are you going to go under with the ship, or are you going to reach out for his hand and climb up through the hatch?
Reach up for his hand, but I'm arguing with him the entire time.
That's fine. He goes, I know, but they're too important. They're too important. And he pulls you up, and as he does, water starts to come in through the door, and he's trying to slam the hatch down and close it.
Okay, I'm going to use shape water to push the water out.
As you do, he's able to slam it shut and close it. And goes, now that is something, and that's when the ship rocks hard as you realize you're in your room. You remember this room. But the ship rocks hard, and it begins to turn in sideways. It begins to roll as it begins to sink under the water. And you see young Abraham get flung hard into the door handle that he just sealed and take a very nasty hit on the right side of his head. And the entire right side of his face and head is just gushing blood. The lights go out. And as you reach for him, you feel the handle. And he's not there.
Is he anywhere?
As you stand up, you start to feel something stinging in your eyes, and you put your hand up. And when you take your hand away, you realize there's blood all over your hand. You hear the groaning of the ship as it begins to sink.
How is the knowledge of the ship's orientation to where this cabin is to the outer hull of the ship?
There's actually a porthole that you can see out of.
Okay. That's getting... I'm just going to blast Scorching Ray with bludgeoning damage and punch a hole out of the ship.
Before you do, you take a quick look out the window, and you don't see sky. You don't see anything but water.
Still have to get out.
But
swim to the
before you
surface.
react, you remember this moment. You remember being trapped in this room. And as these memories come back, you see it play out in front of you as this half of the ship settles on the bottom. And you see the light. You see the light and the vision that would haunt you for the next 40 years of your life. As you see the Ethereum Sanctum. And that light grows ever brighter and brighter. And it gets so bright you actually have to shy your eyes away from it. And then you kind of shake it off, and when you open your eyes again, you're sitting on a bench. It's a warm spring day. Based off of your recent travels, you quickly assess that you're in the upper ward of the city of Gilgamesh.
Abe is not enjoying himself.
Then suddenly you hear prestigation, and you feel a gust of wind from immediately to your right.
What is to my right?
There's what appears to be a small boy with his shirt flipped inside out over his head. And he's now laying on the grass next to you, feet in the air, with his shirt like somebody had pulled it up straight up over his head, and his arms sticking out the top, and he's struggling to get the shirt to come back down. Messed it up again. He's struggling to try to get up. He rolls over onto his stomach and gets his knees up under and starts to pull his shirt down and goes, "Oh, I always get it wrong. I'm sorry, sir. I was trying to clean the red stuff off of you, and I used the wrong version of prestidigitation. Used the wrong one. And I did that once." Yeah, you look at your hand. You still have blood all over your hand, and you can kind of feel it being crusty on the side of your face. I used it once trying to push my sister, and the wind blew, and it blew my pants off. And that was awkward. And I couldn't find them. And then I fell asleep in the sun, and then I got a sunburn on my tallywhacker, and she made fun of me for it. She said it looked like I was smuggling cherries with the twig still attached. I didn't think that was called for. You think that was called for, sir?
No, I don't.
Here, let me try again. Prestidigitation. And this time, as he flicks his hands, it works. And you can see the blood just clean off of your arm, and you feel it all come off of his face and everything. He goes, ha, it worked that time. Are you okay? It looks like you got a really bad ouchie. And you're looking into the face of this brown-eyed, sandy blonde-haired 3 to 4-year-old child, which is impressive. A 3-year-old, 4-year-old doing prestidigitation is ridiculous. And so, you look hurt. I'm going to stay here with you until you're better. And he climbs up does that awkward, I'm too small to actually sit in this thing, climb to get in the chair, and he sits down and next to you. You want to know, Mister, he's patting you on the
Yes?
lead. Mister, do you want to know a secret?
What's that?
He cups his little hand and goes, I'm going to be a powerful wizard.
Yes, you're already casting cantrips, so maybe so.
See, that's what the fancy guy at the Universally said, that I was too young to be doing all of that. And then I threw fire at him, and he told me that was bad. And I guess so. But look, you want to see something else? It's a secret, though.
Okay.
He has a little satchel bag, and he opens it up. And he pulls out. He goes, "One day I'm going to be so powerful, I'm going to be able to summon a creature to be my friend. Look,
Wow.
I drew him. And he opens it, and there's this weirdly shaped raven drawn on there. I go, you know what? He's going to have the best name ever. Do you know what that name's going to be?
What's that?
It's going to be Roscoe. Doesn't he?
Oh.
Look at him. He looks like a Roscoe, doesn't he? I wonder
Certainly
if he'll
does.
wear scarves.
You'll have to train him.
Maybe so. But it'll be cool, because then I could help people, right? And then maybe I could keep people from getting hurt, so that Tabby Cat doesn't have to spend all day at the clinic, and then she can spend more time at home with me. That sounds good, doesn't it?
Well, sounds like this person's helping a lot of people if she's working at a clinic. Maybe her work's important to her.
It is, right? And they need help more than me, but she's still my Tabby. I'd be lost without my Tabby. Do you have a Tabby?
I don't believe so.
Well, that's sad. Maybe when I'm a powerful wizard, I could make extra tabbies for everybody. Because everybody needs a tabby. Have you ever gotten your wee-wee sunburned?
Can't say that I remember having that happen.
I got mad at Tabby because she wouldn't use her divinely powers to make it feel better. Do you know why? You know what she told me? You won't believe it. You know what she told me? She said, and I gotta do my Tabby voice. Pain is the body's way of reminding you to not do that again. And if I use my ability to take the pain away, you won't learn the lesson the nature and the wild lady is trying to teach you. Wild lady's the god person that she talks to all the time. I never hear the wild person talk back to her. It seems kind of rude, right? Somebody talks to you, you talk back, right?
Yes, but maybe that voice she's hearing is not something everybody can hear. Maybe only she can.
There's a special place in the bronze ward for people like that, right? You hear
Maybe
voices
this is-
that nobody else can hear? They're not going to
maybe-
take my Tabby away, are they?
No.
She's all I've got left.
She'll
I
be
say
fine.
that. She's all I've ever had. Everybody keeps saying she should get married and all of that. But, all the other people around here kind of smell bad.
That
She
would be
says
a big...
she's too busy taking care of the clinic and taking care of me. And she says I'm the only boy she needs in her life. And I agree with that. So don't you... you're also way too old for her, by the way. So don't you go trying to... And that right about then you hear, Abraham, where are you? And coming around the corner is... Your heart almost breaks when you see this person. You don't know why. You cannot remember why. But middle of her back, long, sandy blonde hair, dark brown eyes, about 5'10", lithe figure comes around the corner. And you know this person. You know the face. In fact, it's a familiar face. It looks so much like your own face, just feminine, that you know without a doubt that this is Tabitha Grissom, your older sister. You don't know how you forgot or why you forgot. And as you start to struggle to try to remember, just that pain from your head wound pulses so badly. And she walks up and goes, "Oh, there you are, Abraham. I've been looking for you. I just got so bored. I know you get bored, sweetie, and anytime you wander off, it scares me. I didn't go very far. Yes, but when you're lost, I'm afraid. And it's not good to make other people afraid. So you were out looking for me? Well, of course, Abraham. No matter where you go in life, no matter how near or how far away you are, anytime you're lost, I will always be looking for you." And she looks and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I hope he wasn't much of a bother. He's a curious little thing."
No, he saw that I had a little bit of a bump on my head and cleaned me up.
Oh, goodness. Oh, wow. That is a bad one. I'm sorry. I just finished with my hours at the clinic. I'm all out of spell slots. But here, if you go 3 streets down and to the left, there's the Grissom Heart Clinic. And if you go there, they'll get you taken care of. And you need to go quickly because that one's bad. It looks like you could even have a skull fracture. Abraham, I need to take this gentleman over to the clinic. Okay? So are you going to come with me or are you going to stay here? He goes, and he frumps down and he goes, "Me and Roscoe are staying here. I don't want to go back to this stinky place with all the sick people." And she turns around, and as she turns around to say something to him, the world goes gray as you get dizzy from that head wound. And as you begin to kind of fall over, you hear her go, "Sir, sir, 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 sir." You sit up, you're just in a blank gray field of nothing. As
A
you
nothing space, a void space type situation.
Yeah. And as you kind of sit up and lean back, you do feel that you're leaning against someone. "Oh, great mess you've gotten us into this time."
I didn't cause this. Something's happening to us.
"Yeah, you, your self-doubt's so strong, it's starting to manipulate the fabric of reality. Great one. What a great and powerful wizard you are. That frosty bastard was right about us."
Might have been.
"Yeah, might have been. You should just lay down and just let's be done with it all."
Thought about that quite a bit these days.
"Yeah, I know. 'Cause
So
that's
you're
all we're good for is to quit, isn't it?"
So as whatever is happening is causing me to relive past moments that I can't remember, now it's conjured up my own self-doubt to argue with me.
"Yeah, because the only person who can put up with you is you, and not even you really can do that, can you?"
Well, I'm talking to whoever's causing this to happen.
Of course you're talking to whoever's causing it to happen. You're causing it to happen.
No, I'm not powerful enough to be able to cause the reality of space and time to ripple like this. Somebody's causing this in order for me to go through this.
Oh, yeah, no, it's always something else. It's never your fault, is it, Abraham?
It's always my fault.
See, you're so full of contradictions.
It's called being a human.
Yeah, well, I thought you were smarter than that.
Smarter than a human?
Smarter than lagging on to basic fundamental emotional tripe. And look, Look at all these weaklings you've been spending time with. How many times have you had to save them, and how many times have you gotten hurt because of them? All of you would be better off if you weren't around each other.
Apologize. My cats are annoying me.
Sure.
They're not weak, they just don't need me as much as they think they do.
Yeah, well, you know, it's probably better if they did get rid of you. You're just gonna end up breaking their heart, just like you did Tabitha.
Don't even know who that is.
Exactly. Must not have meant much to us.
Hmm.
Do you hear that crap? Oh, well, we searched wherever you're, then why didn't you find us?
Maybe because we ended up in a shipwreck on the bottom of the ocean, somehow surviving.
Always making excuses.
Or I'm stating reality, if that vision is to be trusted.
Yeah, well.
So if I'm not supposed to continue on and you had your way, we would just what? Die? Or just give up and retire? What do you want?
I don't know what I want.
Then stop
That's
harassing him.
Both of your heads turn as Talah is standing there. Oh, great. The little girl who can't even sort her own emotions is going to come in here and try to tell us how we're supposed to behave.
Who's doing this? You? You can't do this, can you?
No, I cannot.
I told you we're doing it. See, that's the problem, right? You always doubt us and how strong we are.
No, I always question everything, because that's how we figure things out.
That's also how you find the little holes in everything to burrow in to find an excuse not to do anything about it. So I'm so sick of you.
Am I always like this?
No, you're not. That is not you.
Yeah, yeah, you. Yeah,
Shut up!
silly Susan.
Abe, I know you're in a bad place right now, but what I've just seen? If that's where you come from, I mean, it shows why you're so caring.
Him caring. He barely
I
cares
am
about
warning
Roscoe.
you!
That's not who I am anymore. That day changed everything. I
And
don't
yet
even
it
remember
changed
that
nothing.
person.
You're still
even-
there for us. You still have your ambitions, don't you?
To do what? What ambitions? Set upon a path to resurrect a god being? Never asked for any of this. I just wanted knowledge to understand.
You've
Talah,
gained knowledge.
you'll notice as he starts being negative, the two Abrahams you see start to overlap on each other. As in, they're becoming the same person. So
Yeah,
they're not
I don't
fully
know.
on top of each other, but they're starting to overlap every time he's negative about himself. Yeah, wanting us to go back to pining after some girl we don't even know or remember. That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Maybe so, but if you've forgotten, it's never too late. Once you remember, you can still take action.
Talah, give
Maybe.
me a perception check.
Maybe, if she still exists.
Thank you, roll 20. That's a 24.
I guess I'm waiting for something to happen.
Yeah,
I just got what I saw in the private message. I mean, there's one way to find out. And that is to actually go looking for her.
Why should I go looking for somebody who didn't come looking for me?
I'm not asking you. I'm not saying it to you. I'm saying it to you, Abraham.
Don't listen to her. She's just a stupid kid who's in love.
Maybe.
I've been sitting here weighing everything that I saw, listening to everything that you've said, and I'm getting a little tired of hearing your bullshit.
Yeah, we're tired of hearing your
You are bullshit.
When he says that, they begin to separate from your perspective, Talah. They're no longer overlapping at all.
Good.
I can't think with your horse shit rattling around inside my head.
Yeah, with that divot in the side of it, there's a wonder there's room for one of us to think in there. And obviously, it's me.
I'll start moving towards Abraham.
Hey, no, do not let her touch you.
Why not? Are you afraid to lose?
We don't need her help. We don't need any of them. We need our shop. We need our books. We need our study. That's all that matters.
Abe, I think I can help if you'll allow me.
I think you've already helped.
I mean,
I
with
think
that, as I point out the head wound he still has.
In just a moment. You, on the other hand, are highly annoying.
Yeah.
Need them? Need is a relative term. But what I want right now is to not have to listen to you anymore.
Listen to me. I'm you.
Yes.
You gonna stop
maybe
listening to yourself?
You're not all of me. You're just a small, pitiful part.
Yeah, well, I'm all you've got. I'm what got us through all of that mess. 40 years.
No. You're 40 years of wasted time. You're 40 years of crazy. And I don't want to listen to you any more.
Yeah. Go ahead. Try to silence me, and just remember this, though. Tabby Cat's gonna be so disappointed when she finds out how you wasted our life.
No,
and
she's
that's
not.
your fault.
We don't know
she's
that.
Not.
That knowledge is yet to be gained. That page is yet to be turned, and we do not know what's written on it. Arrogance. Blinding stupidity. All you do is blither. I'm done with your blithering. Talah?
Yeah.
Can you give me a hand?
course.
Because we're both sitting on the floor, apparently.
I will help him up by taking his hand, casting Greater Restoration.
So as you lift him up with your right hand, you kind of slide your left hand up across his grizzled, rough beard and cheek and onto it. And you don't know how you didn't notice before. You can actually physically see an indentation in his hairline, even where this was. And as you run your fingers over it, you've run your fingers over a long-healed scar in this, what must have been a devastating head injury. Things start to make a little bit more sense to you with everything you've seen in Abraham's nature, right? His frazzledness, his quick-temperedness, his singular focus. These are all symptoms of somebody with severe head trauma. And as you run your hand over it and you start to let your druidic magic flow through you, you can feel that scar start to deteriorate. You can feel the skull fragments starting to push back into place. Abraham, the blinding headache that you've lived with so long that you forgot it was there because the hurt was just normal, abates. You remember your beloved sister, Tabitha. You remember your mother died when you were 2 months old, and your 16-year-old sister fought to keep custody of you, to take care of you. She hid you at the clinic and in other places until she was old enough to legally get custody of you. She helped you learn how to read. She helped you and encouraged you as you begin to learn spells. You remember sitting up, learning about philosophy with her and art and painting. And you remember her helping you as you painted. You loved painting ravens in your little room, in your little apartment, in the attic of the clinic. Had ravens painted all over it. Hundreds and hundreds of little Roscoes over time. You remember her helping you go to school. You remember her teaching you how to cook and how to draw and how to tie your shoes and helping you tie your bow tie for prom. You remember suddenly all those first couple years of study at the university there in Gilgamesh. You remember the argument when you said you were going to take a summer trip to Neap to learn more from the shamans of the sea and to hopefully bring back some new techniques as some of the greater healing that is being used in the clinic has started to become less effective for some reason. You remember your sister's nervousness because she's always been scared of you in the water because you almost drowned in a lake when you went on a vacation in the summer to Heilbronn when you were 7. She sent you with earplugs and anti-nausea medicine. And you remember your last real thought before you hit your head as that ship went to sink, of how sad you were to know that your sister wouldn't know what happened to you, and the thought of the pain it would have caused her. You remember now more clearly waking up 18 months later in a free clinic, much like the one your sister runs, only in Neap, with your head bandaged, with you having trouble seeing out of your right eye, and with nothing left in your scrambled thoughts except for Roscoe and the Ethereum Sanctum. And you can clearly remember how the pieces fell to drive you to that insanity, which eventually led you to your friends. One of which stepped into your arcane-empowered dreams and is now standing immediately to your right with tears on her cheek and her fingers in your hair, as for the first time in 60 years, you have a clear thought in your mind as the rays of the sun begin to peek through the window. Eno is gone. It's just the two of you there. There's a delicious smelling breakfast egg sandwich with bacon and cheese wrapped up lovingly in a paper towel sitting on your lap.
Well, that was something.
Are you okay?
I have a lot to think about. Would you sit with me for a little while?
Of course.
Is the fire out?
It's just embers at this point.
Well, one thing to say is that spell took away the hangover I was going to feel. Well, can't let this go to waste, and so he takes small bites of a sandwich and kind of sits in silence with Talah as he thinks about the lost life that he had completely forgotten. You know, just how do the pieces now fit together? What this means for his identity and who he is. He doesn't know how, doesn't remember doing it. But Abe reaches out and takes Talah by the hand and just holds it.
Fantastic. Well, we'll leave that scene there for now. Everybody else starts to kind of wake up and move around.
All right.
So the boys, I assume, are in the living room on blankets. One of you's on the couch, one of you's on the floor.
Indeed, Othokent is not left in front of the fireplace.
No, you're curled up like a dog in front of it.
Yes.
I figured, like, on his back, like, you see those kittens splayed out, like, completely relaxed. He's just belly up.
He also has like 3 blankets on top of him, as Talah has pulled several like fleece blankets for him.
Mm-hmm. No, it's cozy. You're happy. Nate! If you're gonna cook, you gotta clean up after yourself. How many of my eggs did you use? Where's Talah?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You've lost her again?
Oh, come on.
Ah, why?
I'll clean this up and I'll get started making waffles. Go find her and your grumpy old man friend and get him in here. Oh, by the way, I sent a text this morning because everything's back up and running. Michael and Annabelle are going to be here in about an hour. So make yourself presentable. Don't go upsetting your mama by her showing up and you not being wearing clean underpants and whatnot.
Oh, crud. Yeah, thanks.
Up to
thanks,
it,
sir.
You gotta move and
Yep,
shave.
yep,
You look
yep.
ridiculous.
Hey, what?
Your
Okay.
mustache doesn't connect to the beard. You look like somebody who's 14.
All right, sir.
He's really giving you the runabout, ain't he?
Yeah, hey.
Mr. Lizard Guy, can you fold up those blankets and go put them in the hall closet, please?
Of course, sir. Won't be a
Appreciate it.
problem.
I'm sorry, I don't remember your name.
Oh, it's Othokent.
Excellent. Othokent, thank you. It's nice to know that one guest around here has manners. Why aren't you in the shower? Where's Talah? Get it! Go!
I'm running.
Poor Nate.
So, Otho, you're able to put up the blankets, and then it's perfect timing for you to step out to catch the first rays of dawn.
Beautiful. Gonna go do my prayers.
Excellent, excellent. Excellent. Yeah, so you're able to get cleaned up. Nathan, do you do anything to try to find where Talah's at? Do you check her room, which is the last place you saw her?
Oh yeah, check her room and see if there's any note or anything.
Yep, she's not in her room. No note or anything.
No frost.
No frost.
Good.
Her bag is still there and her notebook and everything.
Mm-hmm.
She's left her notebook. Something's wrong.
Yep.
Slight panic. Picks up notebook and runs off.
Okay, where are you running off to?
Well, first around the house to see if she's anywhere else, and if not, then out onto the street and see if I can see her anywhere.
I'm just gonna ask, do I see Nate running around like a headless chicken?
Probably.
You do. You do.
Nathaniel, have you tried calling her?
Up.
I
Well,
don't
well,
think
she left her
has a-
bag.
All right.
I don't,
Then try
I
calling
mean-
Abraham.
well, he wanted us to leave him alone.
Yes, but if Talah's missing, he'll understand.
I.
Calm
All
down.
right. Okay. I don't have his number. Does he have a phone?
He does.
Can I get his number from you?
You know what? Just borrow my phone here.
Thank you. Wait, this is a pager.
No, it's a BlackBerry.
Oh my god.
Can you show me how to do that?
Dear Lord, Nathaniel. Othokent's just gonna call up Abraham at this point.
I remember how confused people were if I handed them my BlackBerry to use for just a moment. This is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, so Otho's gonna call up Abraham in the hope that he's seen something.
Abraham, your phone begins to go off. It's going, welcome to the jungle. You know the rest of it. I'm going to stop singing for everybody's sake and so we don't get copyrighted.
Oh
But
man.
that
I
is
don't
your
know
ringtone.
I don't know how she keeps changing it.
You don't know where she is, but somewhere Gobx is laughing.
Mm-hmm.
In her sleep.
Probably.
It is Othokent.
He sets it down and puts it on speaker. Yes.
Ah, good morning, Abraham. Good to hear your voice. Nathaniel's here running around like some moron. Have you seen Talah, perchance?
Right here.
Alright, I'm gonna hand the phone over to Nate real quick. Alright, I've called. She's there.
Oh, okay.
Sorry to interject real quick. Caitlin just got a technical in the basketball game she's at
Ah!
for throwing
Nice.
elbows.
Just like her dad.
Yep. Shouldn't have tried to take her ball. Anyways, go ahead.
You have the
Yeah.
phone, Nate.
Good. I guess I just speak into it like a normal phone, right?
It's a normal cell phone. It just has a lot of buttons.
Because you're on speakerphone. Nate, Talah, and Abraham. Obviously, you're hearing this conversation.
It just looks weird.
Tala is putting her hand over her mouth so that the laughing isn't audible.
I don't
Well-
really use phones.
I like to know what I'm clicking, and I appreciate not pressing 9 5 times to make a letter.
Sure. Hello? Are you guys there?
Hi,
Yeah.
Nate.
Hi. Is everything okay? You left your notebook and everything.
Yeah, well, when suddenly the first protocol is making breakfast sandwiches in your kitchen and drags you away, you don't really have time to bring your notebook.
What?
Mm-hmm. I'll explain when we get home.
So the first protocol is here. What?
Well, they were? I don't know where they went, though.
And you just went along?
I mean, what was I supposed to do?
Call me!
Before I could, we were already outside!
You literally had to walk right past Nate to get to the kitchen, and then walk right past him to get out the front door. As a note.
He doesn't know that.
I mean, what am I gonna do if I lose you again?
Find
Your
me again?
dad will absolutely murder you. After he's murdered me.
Well, if he murders you, you
Oh,
can't
I
really
just
go
killed
find me
you.
again.
You hear from the kitchen. Just be you. Just you. I love her.
Well,
Oof, Nathaniel.
yes.
And then Nate goes, I do too!
I mean, he'd murder me several times if he could.
You know, I do know a priest.
Right.
I could make that happen.
But everything's okay, right? Everything's good?
Wait, you lost her again?
No, she's right here on the phone.
Oddly enough, that's not your phone, is it? Seems like somebody's not prepared. I wasn't expecting to have 15 people at my house for breakfast, but I've got enough to make waffles for everybody. You know what that's called, Nathaniel? That's called being prepared. And that's what a good husband and father does. And that's something you need to learn. And if you don't, you're going to lose her, and not because you can't find your phone.
Husband, father.
Why aren't you in the shower?
Well,
If your mama shows up here and starts yelling at me because you're dirty, there's going to be hell to pay, young man.
yeah.
Pip will be right there. Don't worry. Just hang up the phone and take that shower, because otherwise he's only going to yell more.
Sure.
Good
Okay.
God, I thought
love you.
Keys
Bye.
was the dumb one.
And clicks like 7 different buttons and hands the phone over.
All of which are just numbers. You're just dialing into Talah's ear. You somehow sent an email. You don't even know what that is.
Just hand it back, Nathaniel.
I just kind of semi-froze it and runs off to the shower once more. Just
I didn't hang up, did he?
He did not.
Hmm.
Your father is merciless, but it is still rather entertaining.
Does he seem actually mad, or does he have a smirk on his face?
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen a grin so wide.
Okay.
But Nathaniel doesn't dare look him in the eyes, so he doesn't notice.
He's just the best part.
Anyways,
One of
just...
these days he's going to pee himself. I'm going to laugh so hard, especially if it's at the wedding.
What?
Anyways...
We've talked about this.
Yeah, with eggs.
He can't hear you through the phone. I don't have it on speaker.
Well, whose
know, but
problem is that?
I know her well enough to know that she's back talking about it.
Why are you sassing me all of a sudden?
I'm not
Talah?
sassing you. I'm sassing her via you. That's
Well,
how
Talah's
communication
sassing
happens.
me.
Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, that's just how she talks.
I suppose.
From time to time.
Anyways, I don't even know what to say at this point. Just good to hear that you're both okay. And just make sure to be back in the proper time. Your father's making waffles. They smell delicious.
Ooh.
Where's all my bacon?
Don't tell him, but use that.
Well, you can explain that. I don't dare. I'm gonna finish up my morning prayer so I can actually cast healing magic in case we need it.
Yeah, that boy's gonna need it if he doesn't get everything done by the time his mama gets here. I'm feared no man, but there's 2 women in this world I wouldn't cross, and she's one of them.
Well, I just hope I have enough revivification prepared in case he kills Nate. Anyways, take your time. We'll be right here.
All right.
Also, for the future, to keep your phone on you. Anyways, bye.
Abe picks up his phone. I think we should get you back over there before they all lose their collective shit.
Well, he did say to take our time, so I'm going to take my time.
Oh, okay. You want to scrounge up some coffee in this place?
I'd like some tea, honestly.
Well, why don't you help me look through the kitchen and see what they have?
It's just about then that the door opens and the person who owns the tavern walks in and goes, "Oh, goodness, what? Who are you?"
Good morning.
Talah? Did you break into my bar?
No.
Yes, she did. Bad girl. I tried to get her out of here, but she's so convincing that I was to play along.
I shouldn't be surprised, but get out of here and get back home before I call your father and let him know about this. This is just, you and Nate did this when you were teenagers. You remember that? Trying to steal that schnapps to make eggnog? Eggnog is what you were trying to make? It's just ridiculous. You can make it without the alcohol. I'll tell you that again. You're still too young for it. You can do better. Get out.
Here's some money for your
trouble.
Go ahead, sorry.
Dad didn't let us use anything in the kitchen, so that's why we were here back then.
Well, if your father says no, then I would say no.
Here's some money for your trouble. And he'll throw down 5 gold on the counter. Apologize for any inconvenience.
My goodness. You want that bottle of schnapps?
I'm good for now. This is just, a courtesy for the surprise of being in your place this morning hour.
Also, spare key under the rock thing doesn't work anymore. Bye!
Spare key under the...
I just follow behind.
Spare key as you guys walk out and shut the door.
Yep. Just leaving a little tuft of confusion there.
Awesome.
Also, what do I do with my spell slots? Did I get a full rest and I only spent my 5th level, or what?
Yes, you're good. You got all your spell slots except for the one that you spent on the Greater Restoration.
Okay.
So everyone's healed?
Yeah, you guys got a full night rest.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I asked. So how are you feeling, Abe? As we're walking to Talah's home.
I'm pensive. I'm feeling very pensive about everything.
It
Not
was a
too
lot.
I have maybe still do a sister. A connection to the past now. How that will go, I do not know.
I mean, we can see if we can find her when we're back in the city.
Don't talk to anybody about this for the time being.
Not my story to tell.
Thank you.
However, they are gonna ask what happened,
Well,
and I'm
we'll tell
not
them.
very good at lying.
I'm amazing at it. I'll tell them.
Also, why did you throw me under the bus there?
Because it was funny.
It was.
Are you gonna do that again when we get back to my house? Because my dad is going to kill me.
No. I'll take the blame for anything that comes your way.
Well, you don't have to do that.
Hmm? Then I'll take half the blame.
Deal.
That way your dad could yell at me too.
Though, somehow I feel like Nate is gonna take the brunt of it again.
That's because your dad loves making him uncomfortable. He hasn't figured that out yet.
No,
Nate seems
just
to take it
wait.
a little more personable.
Just wait until you meet Pip's parents.
I imagine they are quite particular. A unique type of people to
I
raise
think
that
you'll
boy.
like them.
Well, here we are. You want to go in first, or you want me to take the brunt of this?
Nothing can do that. I'll head inside.
As you step inside, your father comes storming out of the kitchen at you, glower on his face, walks up right in front of you before you even get 2 feet in the door. He holds his hand out.
Good morning.
He just looks at his hand.
I'll look at his hand.
He has your cell phone.
I'll take it.
He then shoves you outside the door and slams it.
I catch her.
What?
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
Good morning.
Meow. Don't come back without bacon. He hangs up.
I'll be back. You
I'll
just
come
go
with you.
inside.
No, we're on this adventure together.
An adventure to get bacon at the store?
Absolutely. Everything can be an adventure if you put your mind to it. You want to steal some, or do you want to pay for it?
No, I'm gonna pay for it. I'm just doubting whether or not I'm gonna take the vegan version or not to just get back
Well,
at
he's
him.
just going to kick you outside the door if you don't come back with the right bacon, you know.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I've done this before where I got real bacon, vegan bacon, and then swapped the contents of the packages with each other. It was hilarious. He only caught what the difference was as soon as he put it in his mouth.
Well, if you want to brave that storm and be kicked out of the house again, go for it. Like I said, anything could be an adventure.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, just for old time's sakes.
So we go to the store.
Yes.
Yep, you get there just as the corner store is opening up, and as you walk in, it's the same old shop runners that have been running it your whole life. Oh, well, look at that! Talah's back.
Good morning.
Oh, hello there. What can we do for you this morning?
Well, do you remember, like, a couple years back, I pulled this prank on my dad with the bacon?
He thought I did it. Right? You understand that. You understand that when you do
What?
things, he refuses to believe that it's you who did it and that it's everybody else's fault.
Really?
Right? I yelled at me. Every time I see him, right? Or anytime he comes in and buys bacon, he's like, "You're not swapping the bacon on me again, are you?"
Wow.
What is
I
your
did
most
not know that.
What is your most expensive cut of cured ham?
Dad needs bacon for his waffles.
He makes a good mean waffle there. It makes a good mean waffle. The best cut would probably be we've got some 60-day dry aged pork belly in the back.
There. Think that will appease your father?
Definitely.
Do you want it cut into cubes? Do you want the full slab? Do you want me to slice it like thick bacon? What would
Slice
you
it like thick bacon, please.
All right. Give me about 30 minutes.
Also, do you still sell that like regional maple syrup?
Aye, it's actually your friend Pippin, his dad. He's been tapping lately. So it's called a tap. No, Pippin's mom is pregnant. There, you happy? What? Jeez.
What?
Well then.
He's been tapping it.
My head.
No, the Pippin brand, Pippin family brand. It's a small wooden keg down on the end.
Oh.
We'll
Well,
take that
taking
as
one of
well.
those.
Yeah, and as you walk down there, you see it. There's two different types of these little bitty, just really cute, really well made. Like they look like little tiny oak barrels, and it says Pippin Family Farms. And there's maple syrup, and then there's also one for honey.
I'm taking both. Well, one of both.
All right, so it takes him just a few minutes. He comes out and he's like, "Did you want the full belly, or because that'd be like 4 pounds?"
How much is it for the whole thing?
For the whole thing, let's say 2 gold. Since you're doing the whole thing, it's normally a gold and a half. Or it's 75 silver per pound. But since you're going to get it all, I'll cut you a break on it.
Yeah, what's the normal price? No break. Support our local businesses.
It would be, what is that, 3.5 gold?
Let's make it rounded up to 4, and we'll call it a good. And how much for this
look.
entire keg of syrup?
Oh, the tiny kegs, they're only a silver piece each. So they sell them to me cheap. Because they just, you know how the Pippins are, right, lass? They won't let them make money.
I give him the...
I told them, especially with the little cask. Look at him.
They're adorable.
Mrs. Pitt must have taken her a day and a half to make just one, right? And she's like, "Oh, just a 10 copper for him." I made her take half a silver, and then she said, "That's fine as long as I don't sell them for more than a silver." So they're a silver each.
She does get a proper margin off of that, right?
Yeah, she gets half of it. Half a silver is what I buy from her. Then I mark it up to a full silver.
Good.
I tried
Make
to
her
tell her
actually earn something.
I tried to tell her they should be a half a gold each from me, and then I'd mark it up to 75 silver. That's what they're worth, easy. Especially when you taste it. Oh, lass. Ooh, it gives you diabetes just thinking about it. I lost a foot just now. That's a good joke, and it's wasted on all of you. Anyway.
Well, I actually have diabetes, so it's like...
Hang on a second. We already practiced our laughs early. Ha! Ha! Ha!
ha.
So, just so you know, Cyntari, the player, that math is wrong, but he's going to take it anyways. Because if you're paying, because she's getting 2 casks.
Or she's getting 2. I thought she said she's only getting 1.
She's getting the honey and the maple syrup.
1 maple syrup, 1 honey.
Fuck it.
Honey.
Oh, then it's 2 silver?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've already put down 4 gold and 1 silver, and he's refusing to take more. No, it wouldn't be right. I'm not going to take advantage of you.
Well, we don't take advantage of you.
Well, you're not. Well, why are people being so difficult today? This is your doing, he says, and he points at Talah. I know it. I know the kind of influence you are.
Technically, my mood today is her fault.
See? I told you. If you weren't so adorable and so good at bringing by flowers, I'd ban you from the store.
As he says that, I am going to.
And he just smirks.
I'm going
It's good to see you laugh.
I'm going to druid craft a rose and put it on the counter.
Oh, the missus will love it. Tell your father we send our regards. And don't get too fat eating all this bacon. Good stuff.
That's why I wanted the vegan version for him.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
well, I have
vegan-
other plans.
Vegan bacon's just grass wearing a Halloween costume.
True.
I only carry it because every once in a while she buys it.
What? It's good. It
No,
beats
stop.
whatever I tried with a carrot.
That's probably true. All right, well, I gotta get the rest of the shop open, so get going before the waffles get cold.
Can I slip another silver piece in there without them noticing?
You do a sleight of hand check.
19.
As you go to slide your hand, he slaps your hand. Don't you do it? He rolled a natural 19.
Wow! The one time I rolled decent.
Got my eyes on you. Now scoot.
I lift my hand, leave the silver, and walk out.
Stubborn Yager family. Can't win with them, is what you hear as you exit as he's laughing to himself.
Well, I think your dad will be pleased with the haul.
I think so.
I should what's the word? Eliminate any issues he may have. So, hopefully, this will calm his mood down. We can have a pleasant morning without him berating your boyfriend.
Oh, you're going to be his best friend with the cut you just got.
Oh, I know. See, this is how you get friends. You buy them all sorts of things and win them over with gifts and flattery.
Alright, so what do I buy you?
You've done enough for me today. We'll talk about that later.
Apparently tomorrow. You're good today. Tomorrow you better pay
Tomorrow's
out.
going to cost you.
Tomorrow you better bring something better to the table because...
The bill comes due, and don't you forget it.
Yeah.
Don't forget the gravy.
I'm sorry, you haven't given me 12 Roscoes today.
Speaking of Roscoe, I'll summon him back. Just an action to bring him back into existence after temporarily dismissing him.
Yep. He flutters down out of non-existence, just that kind of floats in and lands on your shoulder.
Hey, buddy.
He immediately hops onto her shoulder instead.
They all just leave me for girls. What?
It's good to see
Hey.
you as I give him some
Hey,
stretches.
come here.
You're grabbing a cat.
Yes.
Wasn't that bad? Did you get hurt?
It's his daughter.
Did you lose? You lost. You won? You lost one and won the other? Well, that's good. What's wrong? Your throat hurt? Oh, you're just being grumpy?
More shoulder checking.
Just buy her some bacon, dude. It's how you solve problems.
Or
Apparently.
shoulder check her, like Nexus said.
Yeah.
N-
Body
one of
check her
those-
into the wall.
Now I know what your problem is, huh?
I'll give you something to cry about.
Now
This is
we
what
got
you're-
something we can solve.
This is what we call a suplex.
You're gonna put her through the adogi or whatever that the Spartans went through. Just like beating the shit out of her to toughen her up.
So you guys come back. You
Knock
come
on the
in.
door. I'll make
It's
him
on-
walk to the front door.
It's unlocked. I'm cooking.
Do you want your bacon or not?
Othokent, would you open the door for her, please?
Oh, of course. I go over to the door.
Thank
No,
you, sir. Yep. You open it, and there's Talah and Abraham.
With a lot of
Ah.
bacon. Huge package of bacon.
Welcome.
Gigantic package of bacon.
I guess I'm carrying the kegs and she's carrying the bacon.
Yeah, they're small kegs. They're tiny.
Yeah, I mean,
Before I allow
there's so much bacon though. She only has so much hands. How can I hold all this bacon?
It's a struggle that we've that we've all had in our life. If you've lived a good life, that is.
So,
But yeah,
Othokent's kind of gonna stand in the door and say, before I let you in, there's something very important, something very serious.
Okay.
And Othokent's just gonna grab Abraham in a hug and say, good to see you again, friend.
Make a grapple check.
Sure.
Abraham,
hugging.
you let him hug you. He's trying to hug you. Do you accept said hug? So
He
you go
dodged
to
her
hug
hug.
him, and Abraham just innately takes a step back as you trip on the door sill and fall.
Oh, I thought he
you,
would shove Talah in front of him.
No, you got the bacon. Don't damage the bacon.
failed spectacularly.
You tripped. You okay?
Well,
Give him a hand up.
Well, I was trying to give you a hug while being joking in my mannerisms. I guess it failed.
Well, that's fine, but you seem to be falling, and I'm carrying some of these things we just bought. I don't want these kegs to break. You want a hug, that's fine. It's just you need to work on your coordination there. Is it because you've been cold recently?
Well, I do still feel some stiffness, but the fireplace and the blankets were quite the treat. But still, good to see you again. Need help carrying any of these things inside, or do you have it?
I think we are good, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Otho.
You're quite welcome. Always a pleasure.
I will go inside and head towards the kitchen with the bacon in hand.
What? That's not my packaged bacon I like.
No, it's 60-day-old dry aged, you said?
Yeah, dry aged.
It's 60-day dry aged pork belly sliced into bacon slices.
He looks up at you, and there's a little bit of a tear in his eye.
It's the best thing he had.
Don't
and I
thank
bought all of
me.
it.
That was all Abraham.
I know. I'm looking at him, not you. My daughter's got such good friends. Wait.
And here's she wanted to get you some
No.
honey and some syrup, and here's that.
Pippin Reserve. Look at us. We're gonna have us a good breakfast this morning. Give me those. Hand them here. You go sit down and relax. I'll deal with all of this.
Well, I'm gonna take a shower. And she goes.
No, you are not. You are
Yes,
not climbing in there.
I am.
You are not climbing in there with that boy.
What?
We had this conversation.
Nathaniel is currently in the showers.
Oh, I thought he was done already.
No, he takes longer than you do, which I didn't know was possible.
Well, you did kind of order him to.
Well, then I'll just go
Hey,
to
whose
my
side are
room and
you
get
on?
some clothes ready. Bye.
Hey,
Talah goes upstairs.
hey, be quick about it. The Pippins are coming.
Wait, they are?
Yeah, they'll be here in probably about 20 minutes.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Pip, hurry up!
Language. Hey, swear jar. Put the silver in.
Later.
Now! You'll forget.
I'm already halfway up the stairs.
Well, I'm halfway up the stairs to get you for it. Just shakes his head at you, Abraham. Children.
Wouldn't know.
I'll run further up the stairs and just kind of slam on the bathroom door. Pip, hurry up! 20 minutes!
Huh? Wait, what? Where am I? Oh crap. Ah, yeah, yep.
Pippin, you're able to get out and get dressed, and you start Talah. Once you hear the water turn off, you give him like a 10 count before you open the door and just kind of walk in.
Yep.
So he's at least got pants on, and then you shove him out before you start taking your shower.
It's probably a case of walking in, putting my stuff down, being like, "You have 5 seconds to leave this room, or I'm naked."
Where?
You can determine whether that's a threat or a promise.
3, 2.
I mean,
It's a countdown to extinction.
okay, okay, I'm gone.
I know she'll kill me for it, but I'll die smiling.
No,
She
no,
will-
that's
no,
the
no.
thing. She
Mistake
knows
making a will.
that there's someone else who will do it in this house right now.
All right, so Pippin, when you step out, you can smell the delicious bacon being cooked. You can hear conversation between Abraham and Othokent, having a good conversation downstairs. One thing you do notice is coming from Talah's room, something you stepped on and didn't acknowledge it, was Gobs. Gobs is still in Talah's room, curled up in the floor, one foot sticking out of the blanket and one not, and she is still snoring incredibly loudly. On the floor, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just melted into the floor, part of it
Yeah.
now. Kitty Pryde style.
I mean, the arm could.
There's almost breakfast.
Can't smoke inside, not coming.
But bacon. Waffles.
She doesn't respond.
Wow.
She's really
What
tired.
the heck did she do? She's so cold. Well, anyways.
Down here
Picks
to come
up,
be useful for once in your
Throws
life.
her into a bed.
You pick her up and move her into Talah's bed.
No, pick her up and throws her into Talah's
Just
bed.
body slams her into it.
Jeez.
Just chucks her.
Tombstone.
Follow up with a leg drop.
Okay.
Hey, Pip, you go downstairs. You help help Talah's dad with breakfast because he yells at you to get in there and help him.
Yeah.
So just so much bacon, so much.
He made all of it?
He's making about half of it, but that's still
That's a lot of bacon.
2 pounds of bacon. But you have to keep in mind, there's what, 5 of you, plus him, plus the Pippins are coming. It's 8 people.
The Pippins are coming. The Pippins are coming.
Now we just need some berries.
What for?
I mean, this is a lot of heavy stuff. It would be nice with some berries and fruit.
You can, in the backyard, you know where her mom's garden was. You can see maybe there's some raspberries that didn't get destroyed by the frost. You want to run out there and check it.
Yep.
Don't get your shoes dirty.
Yeah, I just polished them.
More so because if your mama sees you with mud on your shoes, she's going to kill us both.
Yeah. Right. Okay, be right back.
All right, give me a survival check to try to scrounge up some berries.
Survival.
You were able to find some blueberries and some raspberries. No strawberries. It would have been out of season for them.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
It's a
you
nice
bring
hole.
them in. You go to the kitchen. You wash off the berries. You get them all set up. They've actually got a dining room, and they're setting it in. Between Pippin and Talah's dad, they start setting out. The butter. They get the little maple syrup cake. He's actually got a little bitty stool. He had your mom actually made for him. It's a little bitty stool to set the kegs on, so that it's easier to get the syrup out. Little bitty cake stool. That he says, and he tells you that as he's setting it out, and you like, oh yeah, I mean, obviously that my mom made that. You can tell just how it's put together. He gets the waffles out. He gets the berries out. And it's about then when Talah starts to come downstairs, you just hear a very solid, like a really firm, but not like a bang on the door. It's just, you can tell it's somebody very, very strong who has just knocked on the door. You hear, thump, thump, thump.
They're
Although,
here.
I think you're closest to the door. Would you like to open the door?
Yeesh.
It was Otho, not you.
Of
But
course, I'm gonna
we
open
will.
the door.
Because it's Otho.
Yes.
Otho, as you open the door, first and foremost, you see the largest human you have ever seen. This person stands about 7'3". Your guesstimate's probably about 400 pounds as he fills the entire door frame.
Othokent is 6'4" and he feels small.
You feel very small. And this hulking giant of a man wearing just a flannel shirt, jeans, a trimmed short but very thick. You know how when people have those super thick beards, right? Even if they have it cut really, really short, it looks like, a horsehair brush, right? Super thick, dark brown hair, dark brown that. And as you look up into him, you see like the warmest, most gentle eyes you've ever seen as he begins to smile and nod at you. And then he gets pushed to the side. A woman that stands about 5'2", bright green eyes, kind of short, like just past ear length hair that's been pulled back with a little clip. Woman pushes him to the side and goes, "I don't know who you are."
Oh, well, apologies. Name's Othokent. Pleasure to meet you. Do come in.
Fantastic. Where is that boy? Nathaniel Pippin!
Yes, Ma.
All right.
Coming.
So, Pippin, as you run up, you see your mother standing there, hands on her hips. Well?
Hi, Mom.
Where is
I'm
she?
home.
Talah comes
Where?
around the corner.
She pushes you to the side and just runs up to Talah and just embraces you. Oh, my dear sweet girl.
Yeah.
You cannot
so-
you cannot scare me like that. You cannot scare me like that, because me and you both know you're the only person other than me that can keep him from putting his shoes on the wrong feet. All right? I need him to not move back home. You're my only hope. Don't you ever scare me like this again. Do you understand?
Good to see you too, Annabelle, and yes, I do understand.
Oh, thank goodness. She kisses you on the forehead, just embraces you, and gives you the biggest hug ever. Nate, your dad ducks down to step into the house and just leans over and kind of puts an arm around you and gives you a hug. Doesn't say anything. Dad doesn't really talk. He's just
Hi,
there.
Dad.
Hi, Mike.
Miss you too.
And he's got one arm around Nate still, and he kind of just one-handed picks Nate up, walks over and puts his arm around you and his wife at the same time, and just kind of squeezes everybody and picks everybody up.
Yeah. I've missed this.
Nathaniel, I did not
I'm
know
not
you were.
sure.
I did not know you were related to Heracles.
What? Who?
It's like the parents from Brave.
Yep,
A gigantic dad and a small mom.
pretty much.
You know Heracles, hero of legend. Very strong, very handsome, very brave.
I mean, that... What?
Yeah, that's my dad, all right.
Let me go, you big oaf. I need to go make sure that your father isn't ruining breakfast. Annabelle, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Almost done. Just cooking the last bit of bacon. Oh, well, don't you burn the ends. Last time we were here, you burnt the ends. And she walks in. She just naturally reaches and grabs the apron that's hung on the pin and puts it around herself and walks into the kitchen to do the finishing, quote unquote, as she would say, finishing touches on everything.
She just takes over.
And you hear her go, Mike, get the dishes and put it out on the plates. Nathan, why aren't you?
Yep.
You go set the tables now, young man. Come on.
Yeah.
I didn't catch any of your names, so it doesn't matter. Go wash up. Okay. Get the sleep out of your eyes, especially you older gentleman who looks like a weird Santa Claus. Yeah, get cleaned up. Breakfast is almost ready.
No need to be rude.
I didn't say anything bad about him, dear. I just said he looks strange for Santa Claus.
Prestidigitation. I'm clean.
No, you're saying that wrong.
Don't.
I mean, he is the wizard. He can
that
say it
is a
however he
neat
wants.
trick. Talah, and make sure you learn how to do whatever it is he just did. Can you use that on like floors?
Anything that needs to be cleaned.
Oh, some of the wood stains I use, something like that would be amazing for that. No, Pippin, the forks go on the right. You know this. Don't embarrass me, young man. Don't embarrass me. You know you were raised properly. You know where they go.
Well, yeah.
As you stammer and walk by, she grabs you and pulls you in. She goes, "I missed you, boy." Gives you that big tight hug. I'm just giving you a hard time. You look good. She looks happy. Go set the table. Go. She smacks you on the butt.
Yeah. And that we got the extra sturdy tier over here. Yeah.
He laughs and smiles. She goes, "Oh, I remember when I built that. We built that after you broke his other good chair. I built him. So that's when the kids were little and we were coming over all the time." That your dad just kind of smiles and pulls it out. It's almost like a bench seat, and he sits down and he's sitting down on the side.
Yeah.
It's about that time that Milla comes wandering down, sleep in her eyes, and she just walks over and she actually sits down right next to your dad and kind of leans up against, like his thigh comes up almost shoulder high on her, and she just kind of leans over on it and goes back to sleep.
Gobs? Is Gobs okay?
I just think she's tired.
Pippin, it's at this point as you're setting the table, you notice the kegs with Pippin Family Farms on them, sitting on the table.
Oh. Well, those are fancy.
Your dad shakes his head and smiling. Bees. No, tap the trees for the syrup.
Yeah.
Your mom, we make the syrup, and instead of sugar, we use the honey, and it helps it. She feels it's more natural that way.
Well, I am sure it tastes absolutely delicious. Can't wait. Ooh, I wonder what I can make with it.
I'm sure you can also use it in your oatmeal.
Oh yeah, oatmeal. Oh.
He
can make
leans
some
over to you,
oatmeal later.
Talah, and goes, Don't let Annabelle catch me talking. You know she doesn't like it when I talk too much.
What?
How's he been doing? Is he okay?
I think he's been doing a lot better since yesterday.
Michael, don't go gabbing their ears off. You know how it is. People get annoyed when you talk to them too much.
I don't.
I know, it's our secret. All right, we'll keep an eye on him. I'll worry about my boy.
Of course.
But as long as he's with you, he'll be all right. Hadn't caused you too much trouble. Has his oatmeal gotten any better? You better not be talking about his oatmeal, Michael. You know it makes him uncomfortable when you talk about his oatmeal. I mean, his oatmeal's not that good, but he's working on it. She says to your dad, "Oh, he's not good at oatmeal, huh? We'll have to fix that, won't we?" I've been trying to for years, but the boy just won't listen. It's got to use some
Mom,
syrup in it. It sweetens it up. Covers up the burnt oat taste because he doesn't know how to cook on low heat. Oh, yeah, you got to cook on low heat. I mean, children, they just don't want to listen to the smart ones in the family anymore, do they? No, they don't. They most certainly do not.
I've actually made really delicious oatmeal lately. I even converted some of these guys.
They're
Keeps
just
you
saying that
regular.
They're nice.
I enjoyed his oatmeal from the start. It's
I
actually
just
quite
don't like
nice.
oatmeal in general.
Neither do I, but I don't let her care. I heard that, Michael. You eat oatmeal because it's good for your heart. As big as you are, heart problems are a major concern, and that's why you're eating oatmeal. I can't wait to eat some of your dad's bacon. I haven't had bacon in 12 years.
Well, he
You
got the
won't let
good
me.
stuff today.
Oh, that's... What do you mean the good stuff?
Dry aged, 60-day dry aged pork belly, sliced thin into bacon slices.
He gets a tear in his eye.
Courtesy of Mr. Abraham Grissom.
Well, hello, sir. Hope my boy's not causing you too much trouble.
No, he's been fine.
Oh, good.
He's a hero, you know.
Well, what did you say? You guys will have to tell me all about that.
Well, he just, that wintry thing that was happening here. Well, he's the reason it went away. He saved your town,
Well,
possibly all of the north and greater beyond.
Maybe that's why he may have caught a certain young lady's eye, because he's that kind of a guy, huh? He winks at you, Talah.
Yes, he just needs a ring to be able to seal the deal.
Are you all just gonna get involved with this now?
I mean, that's when he's ready. You can come talk to me about it, and I'll try to help him. But we've always kind of thought of Talah as family, anyways. And if she was part of the family, then she could sneak me bacon more often. He winks and he goes, "But there's no pressure. You two are awful young. You have plenty of time." And then you just hear Annabelle go, "Time for what? I'm not getting any younger. Pretty soon I won't be there to be able to help Talah with the grandbabies." And that's where your dad goes, "What, grandbabies? No, Nate, I'm watching
What?
you." Yeah, Nate.
Hey,
That's why they need the ring, because of that.
Yeah, because ding ding wedding ring, we get it.
Just to add my
Go ahead.
just to add my personal brand of fuel to the fire, I am both a priest and a doctor, so I can help on all the steps.
Why? As Talah just puts her arms on the table and face plants into it.
Gobs leans up and goes, "Oh, can I be your best woman or whatever it is?"
okay, I'll go get some water. Bye.
We have a priest right here.
What do you need?
Here's a ring right here. I got this extra ring I don't wear too often. It's called a ring of undying servitude. Works for you both.
Dad kind of puts his hands on the table and goes, Now, that's enough of that talk. We just got our family back together. We're going to sit down and have a nice breakfast, and we're going to enjoy each other's company. We've got the kids back, and we need to relax on all of that. And they've been having to rush around for months, trying to find Talah and bring her back home and deal with whatever this ice thing was. Enough of this talk. Let's just enjoy a breakfast as a big extended family."
No,
Thank you,
then I better
Mr.
go.
Pippin.
I said extended family. If you're at this table, you're family.
And there's no getting out of it.
And that kind of shocks you because he never speaks firmly. So Annabelle goes, "Well, like you said, everybody here's family. Let's sit down and let's eat and let's behave ourselves. Talah, you have to tell me all about where you've been and what you've been doing." And
Having fun.
And after he does that real firm speech and kind of has that grimace on his face, he looks at you, Talah, and winks. like he always does.
Mm.
I just
Yeah.
smile.
And you guys sit down. Gobs eats a tremendous amount and then goes back to sleep on Talah's dad. Talah's dad not Talah's dad, I'm sorry, Nate's dad. Nate's dad just kind of has his arm around her, keeping her from falling off out of her chair. It's kind of like a bench seat that she's in as well. And he's just kind of keeping an eye on her. And you guys just kind of go through and talk about everything you've done, amaze everybody. With everything, and you'd laugh at some things, and Annabelle is full of 100 questions, always about Talah, little bit about Nate. Michael, Nate's dad, he just soaks everything in, and he's just smiling and passing and reaching over, like when you say, hey Abraham, can you pass the butter? Literally his giant hand kind of comes up over Abraham and grabs the butter and moves it over. He's just kind of facilitating for everybody. Anytime somebody needs something from the kitchen, it's Annabelle who jumps up before you can even start to move your chair to go get it for everybody. And despite the somewhat snarkiness at the beginning, it's family, right? There's you have so many memories. The only thing that's really missing right now is your brother and mom. But it's the most like home it's felt in a long time.
Yeah, Talah is not going to talk about her mom or Atiz at the table.
Yeah. No, and they're not going to bring up Atiz because they'd be worried about bringing it up because as far as they know, he's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So, but they talk about it. Pippin, it's about halfway when you realize, wait a minute, these have our why does this say Pippin Family Farms? And that's where the one thing your dad does excitedly talk about. It's the most excited you've heard of. Is he talks about he's keeping bees now. And he keeps them in the maple grove, and his maple grove is where he's getting the syrup, and they use the honey mixed in with the maple syrup. And he's excited about that. Before Annabelle's like, no, nobody wants to hear about your silly little bees.
I do.
I like
Same.
bees.
Oh, fine. Just talk about bees all day. We got important things here to talk about, and she lets it go though. So she's not. She makes a play of being the peckish hen, but she's really not that way. She's just how she deals with things. But yeah, you guys have a good breakfast. Pip, do you happen to mention the mirror?
The
mirror box.
Yeah.
The mirror that is built on in the wooden frame that has her initials on it.
Later on in the whole breakfast thingy when we're done.
Gotcha. So towards the end, when the table's getting cleared and whatnot,
Yeah.
and people are picking at the scraps, yeah. She will tell you that the only thing she knows about it is she made the wooden frame, and then they put in a special mirror, and then it got shipped back to the city of Gilgamesh to a group of people, and there's a place there that makes magic items. So they have to start with something high quality, so it's easier for the magic to attach to it, right? So they frequently use her for any of the wooden components in their magic items they're making. So it's not anything special to her other than the fact that she crafted the wood.
Well, that's amazing. I didn't know you did that, Ma.
Yeah, no, your father has a knack for finding the best wood, and apparently I've got a decent hand at shaping it into what it should be once it's on the bench.
Yeah.
Speaking
I've
of
also
which,
been...
where's your bow at?
Show her. I beg of you.
You still have the one I made for you?
I do. And I just Nate hurriedly runs off to get his bow, along with the new bow.
When you bring them both out, she ignores your old bow and goes, "Oh my, who on earth carved this?" As she takes it out of your hands and starts looking at it. I can't even see any chisel marks in this. Who made this? Do you know?
Proud grin. He just nods towards Talah.
Who is picking up plates from the table.
Talah, you made this?
Technically I grew it.
You grew the wood like this?
Yeah.
Well, young lady, I think me and you are going to have some work to do together once you have some downtime.
Sounds like fun.
Instead of cutting the wood, you grew it in the proper shape. That adds so you can get the shape without worrying about damaging the integrity of the wood itself. I've got some ideas. I'll start drawing some things out so then when you have time, me and you can work together and see if we can't build something special here and there.
Yeah, of course.
Even just using that methodology for normal everyday things, it would be sturdier because it's not been structurally weakened by the cutting. Did you see this, Michael? And he starts to say something. She's like, of course you saw it. I don't know why I asked. You're right there. And he just shuts his mouth and kind of shakes his head. Goodness. I wonder what else she can do. And he just
So
leans
many
down
things.
to you real quietly and goes, are you one of them druid folks now?
A lot has happened. I think that is the proper term for it, Druid.
Can you talk to my bees?
Probably.
He's so precious.
Do you think you could teach me to talk to them? Because, like, I think I know what they want, and I think I know what makes them happy, but it sure would be nice to know for sure.
Maybe? I'm not sure.
Well, once I can peel you away from Annabelle, next time you come to visit, maybe and take a look at it, see what we can figure out. If you don't mind, I don't want to take you away from her or from little Nate there.
I mean, I think it's possible to drop by today.
Oh no, you need to get some rest. And with this cold snap, they're kind of sleeping right now. So, and you know, it's such a long way out to the house. That's why we came to see you. And Nate, you know, but mainly you. Tell him I
Really?
said that. Well, we've been so worried about you. You know, we never had us a little girl, so we've kind of our little girl. And so heartbroken whenever your mom, you know, kind of, you know, you spent about as many nights at our house as you did your own in those years, and we missed having you around. So I've been worried about you. We knew where Nate was, and I knew he'd find you and bring you home. I wasn't really worried about him too much. It just makes me happy to have us all around the table again. Even with Annabelle's little comments. What little comments? We'll talk about it later, dear. Just try to be a little nicer, okay? I am being nice. Talah, you know that I don't know how to express it, okay? I've been very nervous and very worried about you and my boy.
Oh, we're both okay.
I see that.
So it's okay to relax a bit more, Annabelle.
I'm sorry. I should have had more faith in you. Once I knew, because I knew he'd found you, and I should have let it go at that point, because you'll take care of it. Who's the little green one that's asleep on my husband?
Oh, that's Gobx. Normally she's not as sleepy as today, but I think yesterday took a lot out of her or something.
What's wrong with her arm? It's black. Is that a tattoo? Nate, you didn't get a tattoo, did you?
No,
You
most
better
certainly
He
not.
comes home with a tattoo, and it doesn't say at least mother or Talah on it. We're gonna have words. It better not be on his neck. Don't let him get one on his neck, dear.
I mean, it's his body.
Yeah, but still, I don't want to have to look at it. And that doesn't mean he needs to go getting it on something like his crotch. That would be awkward.
Well, Willa did have a huge scar on the back, though.
Yep.
What happened to his back? And then you guys continue to have your conversations and whatnot. And eventually, Mike Towers gets up. He gently takes Gobs and takes her and goes and puts her on the couch and puts takes one of the blankets back out of the hall cabinet and puts it on Gobs. And Gobs just rolls over and goes back to sleep, snoring loudly as she does. And then he helps pick up all the tables. Coffee's put out, and everybody's just having a good, relaxing morning. Is there anything anybody else would like to do during this day of placid family time?
If we're talking about the entire day, then at one point, Abe, is there cell phone service out there? Well, obviously we made a phone call.
Yeah.
Call back to Elendoril and check on and let them know that everything's fine.
Yeah, not a problem. Lily wants to know the story about you fighting the King of Winter. In her brain, that's what she's calling it. So, I need to know how you slayed the God of Winter. You must come and tell me the story.
Well, yeah, I will start first thing I'll do when I come back is check in on you.
That better be a promise.
Absolutely. I'll have Talah with us as well, and she can share her side of it too.
All right. Well, I love you, Dad. We'll see you soon. Be safe.
I will.
Don't get
Love
too
you
fat
too.
on all the bacon. I don't know why you eat so much bacon.
How do you know about the bacon?
You just told me about the bacon 2 minutes ago.
Oh, well, I didn't realize I said anything about that.
Oh, well, you should pay attention to what you say more often.
You have a good one, and mind your aunt. Bye.
All right. Bye. Tell Mom hello and I love her.
Well, Lily's fine. She says hi.
Hi back?
We call her back?
No, that's okay. We'll visit her when we're back in the city.
So, does your parents know about Lily?
Oh God, they don't.
Your dad doesn't know about Lily, your adopted daughter.
What?
Don't.
What?
Abe's enjoying himself entirely too much.
And I'll let you know, that wasn't just a what from him, it was a what from Annabelle as well. At the same time, they went, what?
Yes, me and Talah have an adopted child together.
Why? Abraham?
Yes, Talah?
Why?
Well, I mean, she did choose us. It's not like we went into this planning on having an adopted child together. She chose us.
And what relationship do you two have to one another?
None whatsoever, except as friends. But when we found let's just say we found somebody that needed help. She was an orphan, and she chose us as her mom and dad. So we kind of ran with it, and just for her sake, because it's good to give them a grounding as they're growing up.
Your father comes over to you, Talah, and puts his hand on your shoulder and leans in and goes, so I have 2 grandchildren, and you weren't going to tell me about one of them? Is that my understanding?
Well, technically, she's Abe's adoptive daughter, and she started calling me Mama.
That's because you helped hatch her. I'm throwing more confusion into this deliberately.
How long did you have to sit on this egg to hatch it?
Oh, I sat on it. I mean, I was carrying it around in my backpack for what was it, weeks.
Wait, an egg?
I didn't even know
me
about it
second
until...
granddaughter's a chicken?
No!
Oh, she's a dragon.
A what?
She's a dragon. I didn't even know about that egg until it needed to hatch, and I apparently was able to help do that.
Because she's a druid.
then-
Nature and all that stuff. Helping things hatch seems so much like what she should do, you know? So she was the first to hold her.
I don't even know how much bacon I'd have to feed a dragon.
A lot more
lot.
than you had this morning.
Yeah, I'm understanding that. I don't know if I can afford this grandchild.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. She's being taken care of in this Tower of Gilgamesh.
Okay. Well, yeah, I get it now. You're just messing with me, trying to make the old man have
Here's a
heart
picture.
Shit.
See, there's Talah holding her.
Her name's Lily.
That is a baby semi-transparent dragon?
Yeah?
Yep.
I promise you, Mr. Jaeger, nothing they're saying is a lie.
Mike, I need a beer suddenly. Do you want anything to drink? And he just shakes his head no. I was like, all right, it's just me. Annabelle's like, me please. Me please. I'm not old enough to be a grandmother yet.
You've been talking about wanting to be a grandmother for years.
Yeah, no, until your viewpoint on it changes when you're confronted with it.
Okay. Well,
What's Pippin's relationship with your daughter?
Completely absent from that relationship.
Oh, okay. So he's not committing.
Hey,
He's not committing.
On the
If you
periphery,
marry
huh?
her, you've got to marry her children too, Nate.
I've been
You need
there.
to be more
I haven't
involved.
been absent.
I am Uncle Othokent.
Yes, that's nice, dear. So Nate, I don't understand. Why are you?
she's Auntie Gobs.
Auntie Gobs, we destroyed a forest.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know what that was about. Did you destroy a forest?
Poor forest. Never
Yes,
heard of
well, it her breath weapon is she breathes out a lot of
Decay.
death and decay, and she destroyed part of a forest.
She's not. She's an evil dragon.
No.
No.
Very much a product of her upbringing. So she's like me and Talah, kind of in a way.
Okay. All right. Strong-willed. Good. We can work with that.
Curious
all right,
about everything.
I'll need to read up on dragons. Nate, you need to read up on fatherhood apparently, because you cannot let this child grow up without a father. And if you're,
She has a father.
About Talah, right? But I understand that. But if you're gonna be serious together, then
You're
he needs
enjoying
to be involved in her
yourself
life.
way too much, Abe.
I can help teach Nate Draconic. Don't you worry about it.
Technically, this is your fault. I would be a lot more mopier and less conversational if you didn't help earlier.
Thank you.
Annabelle reaches over.
This is really deserved.
And she puts her hand. Annabelle reaches over and puts her hands in hers. She goes, "That's one of her gifts, dear. She always brings out the happiness in everybody. So don't. It's just how she is." Now, Nathaniel, tell me about my granddaughter and why you haven't mentioned this before.
Talah walks out of the room and goes to her own room.
It's like you've got to be involved in her life. You can't go marrying her mother without having a relationship with her, right? You don't just marry her and you marry the family, right? That's why you have to have a good relationship with her father, right? And that's why I was always so mad at you for being so at odds with the T's all the time. That has she continues along that line as you guys walk into the other room to giggle, and Abraham's just sitting there wallowing in it.
Again, Talah has removed herself from the scene.
I was tempted to vortex warp you back to your seat.
Don't you dare.
Don't you dare.
Yes, Nate is starting to understand. He's starting to understand. It's not because he doesn't have anything to say. It's that he doesn't want to give that woman any weapons to use.
Any fuel. Don't give her fuel.
Yep.
No, I'm
You'll get
plenty
burned.
of fuel. Plenty of fuel for her. So much fuel.
Oh, God.
So yes, we're going to be returning to the city sometime soon. We have lots of business to deal with there. Do you want to come along and see her?
Oh, I can't. I've got so many orders right now. Why would... Nate, this is... I'm not going to let you live this down. I'm not prepared. If I'd known... I don't have a present to send back with you, for her. With you. Mike, do we have the... No, go out back and find Hickory. Wait,
You can always
she's
video
upset
call.
now. What?
Video call. Your phones can
No.
do that now, right?
No. Bonton, where's your... Give me your kitchen knife. I'll replace it. Give me your kitchen knife.
Wait,
Mike,
what?
Mike, go out back and find a hickory. I need hickory. I need it now. Bonton, give me your knife. Give me your knife. But this is my good... Bosun?
Here's my knife. Why don't you take this? I barely use the thing.
It's not big enough. I need something with a wider...
It's technically a dagger, but okay.
I mean, I have my short sword.
What am I going to do with the sword? I need that specific knife.
Okay.
Thank you. And she goes outside, you can see, if you look out the window, you see Nate's dad grab an axe out of Talah's dad's garage and go up there, and he finds a hickory tree and cuts it down. And her mom drags in these two branches and is sitting in the living room with two branches of a hickory tree, carving and throwing the shavings into the wood or into the fire. All right, so tell me more about my granddaughter. What is she like? What's important to her? Oh, I'm not asking you, Nathaniel, because I know you're not involved enough to know. Mr. Grissom,
Wow.
Could you give me some information on my granddaughter?
Oh, she's very curious. She can read minds. She loves to play, and she has a pet creature that she adores absolutely. And she spends all of her time trying to fly and grow bigger, and she practices her breath weapon, and she just loves to go on walks through the woods. She loves the druid forest in the city. And
Does she have
loves
a favorite
her
animal?
ants. Has she said? Like, would she have said?
She likes all kinds of animals. She
She
has
likes
a
all
different
the
favorite animal every day.
Oh, she hasn't made up her mind. One day it's dogs, the next day it's lions, and the other day it's fish, of all things. And then whenever she sees Otho, suddenly she likes lizards a whole lot. It's
Good.
She has a
good.
pet raven. She has a pet raven a lot like this one on my shoulder here, named Roscoe. She takes care of it, adores it. She is fierce when it comes to protecting her family and everybody around her. And she knows quite a bit about everything. I mean, she studies like mad. She's already picked my brain apart when it comes to magic, and
Good.
she's
good,
just a
good.
joy.
Like
She's just a
much,
joy.
much like her grandmother, doesn't want to get pinned down, wants to know everything about everything, and is smarter than everybody else in the room, just like me.
Correct.
Fantastic. What she
Absolutely.
does is she actually carves a chunk out and begins to carve a raven. She carves the wings separately from the second trunk so that she can latch it in a way that the wings move, and so does the tail. And then as she carves out the body, she leaves the feet attached to the branch. And when it comes time, when she's done with everything, she actually very carefully sticks it in the fire and rotates it to use the charring of the wood to color it black like a raven. And then when she's done, she takes it off and pats it so all the soot and everything comes off, and then hands it to Nate. You take this, you give it to my granddaughter, you tell her it's from her grandma, who loves her very, very much, and tell her that you're sorry for not being better to her and more involved, and that you're going to do a lot better because you and her mommy are getting married someday, and she's going to come live with you, and you're going to come see grandma.
Yes,
and I
Ma.
expect the next time you come home, that sweet little Lily is with you. Do you understand me?
Yes. Thank you, Ma.
Mm-hmm. Mike, are you done in there helping clean the dishes? And he just sticks his head out and shakes his head no, as you can hear the low rumblings of Mike and Paula's dad talking as they're cleaning up the kitchen, getting everything put away and everything.
I'm going to go check in on Talah real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Knock on the door to her room.
There's no answer. Yeah, you peek in and you can see that she's not in there, but the window's open.
Mm.
Apparently, she's allergic to doors.
So I look out the window then.
You can see her feet dangling off the edge of the roof above you.
I send Roscoe out there to sit on her shoulder.
I'll tell you something you did notice as you came in is that there was a photo album open on the bed. And you can see pictures of Talah and her dad and her brother. And you can see there's her younger versions. And then a woman in the middle who you can only assume is her mom.
Hmm.
Talah, Roscoe flutters up out the window and lands on your shoulder.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Does that thing where he turns around in circles a couple times and then lays down on your shoulder.
I'll
Kinda
give him a
nestles
couple
in.
scritches.
I'll leave her to it. I'll take note of the pictures and look at them pensively a little bit, or consideringly a little bit, and then leave it as it sits and continue back into the front room. She's apparently embarrassed herself, or was a bit embarrassed. A bit too much. She's having some time alone outside.
Oh, that happens, Lots of emotions, seeing family like this for her, and she does that whisper, but it's not really a whisper that, with everything with her mom and then her brother passing away. I'm sure it's a little tough seeing all of us back together and having those missing pieces of the chess set, so to speak.
Yes.
Poor girl. Well, all we can do is do our best to help fill in the gaps where we can and give her all the love we got.
Don't say it, Abraham. Don't say it. Nate's already had enough.
Do it.
I dare you.
Tell me, Mr.
Well,
Grissom, how has my boy been taking care of her? Good?
He's deathly worried anytime she is not in his sight or knows where she is. He panics, freaks out, and then does everything he can to kill whatever harms her. He's absolutely proficient with the bow and he's a hero.
Part of that's all well and good and all, but he does need to learn to trust her. He's got to know
He's
when...
always worried about what might come, and if he's not able to stop it. So he wants her to take little risks as possible.
Oh. She's becoming a pretty strong young woman, I believe. She probably needs to be learn the lesson I needed to learn, which is to be able to ask for help. Right? Because I'd go out and I'd cut down a tree. You should have seen me, Mr. Grissom. I would cut down a tree 3 feet thick for materials to carve, and I'd refuse to let Mike come help me. And then I'd get it down, and then I'd have to try to figure out how to get that huge thing back to the house to cut it up. Isn't that ridiculous? That's her flaw. She doesn't know how to ask for help when she needs it. And then he needs to learn the lesson his daddy did, which is You can't always treat us like we're made out of porcelain. We're strong, and we can be self-sufficient, so you got to give us our room, too. It's a delicate balance. Loving a strong woman's not easy. But Mike would tell you, if I'd let him, that it's worth it.
Why don't you let him speak?
It's for his own sake. He's embarrassed about his voice. He thinks he sounds dumb when he talks. So I do all of his talking for him, so that it helps cover up his insecurity. He sounds just fine. He's brilliant and says the sweetest things.
And then maybe he should allow him to talk so he can get more used to the sound of his own voice and become comfortable in his own skin.
I try.
Try by telling him to be quiet. You said it at least 100 times this morning.
Yes, but it's because he doesn't mind. He likes for me to do that. He'll never say it, but he does. It gives him an excuse not to talk. He's not comfortable with it.
Well,
But I know when to be quiet and let him have his peace. Like when he told everybody to sit down and calm down. So is this Lily really imprinted upon Talah as her mom?
she did hatch her egg. And Lily saw her first, me second. Dragons of her type are psychic in nature. And so, by carrying her for as long as I did, she imprinted mentally upon me. Imprinted my mental. What am I trying to say? I said that wrong. Imprinted my mental. Imprinted me upon her mental state, and then when she saw her face, imprinted the physical birth aspect upon Talah. So, in a way, it was just natural. The same way any hatched creature, when they see the first thing, they think it's them.
Is she always a dragon?
Oh no,
Like,
she's
dragons
powerful
can
enough, and
right?
yes, she's actually a little girl. Here's another picture of her. That's when I took her out for
She's so
an entire day before I had to come up here to help. I made sure to spend an entire day with her.
Absolutely adorable.
Mm-hmm.
How spoiled is she?
Absolutely spoiled. Like I said, she lives in the Tower of Gilgamesh, being taken care of.
Well, I guess our next project would be expanding. You know, because we'll have to have room for when Talah comes back home, and Nate, and Lily, and you, because I'm sure you'll come with them. So,
Yes.
well, just so you know, when we call you family, we mean it.
Well, technically, it's true, seeing how the adoption thing kind of like worked its way into that equation.
You know what I mean, Mr. Grissom. Stop being so specific.
Yes.
So, if you're with Nate and Talah, and now apparently my adopted granddaughter Lily, at least who I hope to be my adopted granddaughter, I'm thinking, based on how the looks were going there, that Nate and Talah finally started to have certain conversations that we've all been expecting since they were like 3. That boy, I thought he was going to stay red with as much as he turns red around her. He's always so embarrassed. He opens his heart. They'll be all right. But you're always welcome. If you're with them and they consider you family, then you're our family too, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
She actually gives you a little hug. All right. Well, I think we need to get going, Mike, pretty soon if we're going to get back before dark.
Gotta hit the old dusty trail.
Nate?
Yeah.
Sweetheart?
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right, come give Mom a hug.
Sure thing.
Mr. Othokent? Pleasure to meet you. She shakes your hand and gives you a little, a little side hug.
It was a pleasure as well, ma'am. It's been
You
a
just-
joy traveling with your son.
Well, good. We'll keep an eye on him. You need to watch out for. She hugs you, Nate, and but not even taking into consideration you being right next to her. You've heard this volume before as she goes, "Where's my sweet Talah? Talah!" As the walls reverberate as she raises her voice calling for Talah.
I just
She's-
kind of look
she's-
over the edge of the roof as this is the right side of where I am. I'm over here.
Well, they're indoors. They're not. They haven't stepped out yet.
Oh,
But
I
you
thought they
you
were
can hear her.
outside. Sorry.
No, they're in the living room saying goodbye.
My ears, Mom.
And about then, that's when the monster that is your father wraps his arms around you. All right, we'll talk to you later, boy. Be good.
You too. Dad.
What?
Have you tried making honey roasted nuts?
No, I haven't. Your mother's more confectionery talented than me. I'll bring it up with her. We've got some pecan trees we're gonna take down in the spring to use its wood for a project she's got coming up. So maybe we can save the pecans and roast them in some honey.
Yeah, it's just the honey was so good. I really
Yeah.
think we can make something delicious of it. Also,
You can
I
tell.
bet it's great on oatmeal.
I don't
Sorry,
like
what?
oatmeal, son. You know that.
Yeah,
He makes me eat it
I
all
know.
the time.
I'm sorry.
But you can tell the how happy the bees are by how good the honey is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I've got happy bees.
maybe I can try talking to the bee sometime.
You can talk to bees.
I can talk to animals.
He gets a puzzled look on his face and goes, I guess bees would be animals. They're not really plants, are they? Bees count.
I hope so.
Oh,
Maybe they have some
Nate,
favorite
you hear
flowers.
there's a dove pecking on the window. Kitchen
Would
window.
window.
Roscoe be sitting next to her,
Yep.
pecking as
Yeah,
well?
Probably.
Roscoe's next to her. Roscoe starts pecking on it too. And a raven.
Opens the window.
Fly in.
Roscoe and Talah Dove fly in.
And as I reach the group of people, I drop wild shape.
Oh my good heavens! Oh,
Hi.
That's interesting. Oh well, we're leaving, dear. Come give us a hug.
Already?
Yeah, we got to get back before it gets dark. You know, Mike, he gets a little jittery when it's after dark. He's a bit of a scaredy cat.
Mm-hmm.
Annabelle, that's not true. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You always see weird shapes in the dark.
Don't worry, Mike. We know it's Annabelle.
He winks at you, and she gives you a big eyes like, "Oh, I'm so happy to see you back. We've missed you so much.
It was really good to see you.
Make sure to bring my granddaughter with you next time, okay?
Okay.
All right. Keep an eye on the boy. You know how he is." I've always thought about getting, those shoes they make that can go on your right or left foot, right? But they look weird. So you got to marry him, because if not, I'm gonna have to get him those shoes, and that'll just be embarrassing for him. Because without me or you around, he's not gonna get it right.
I
She winks at you,
put on my clothes myself.
and at that point she grabs both of you and pulls you both in at the same time for a hug. He's like, "Oh, I love you too. You two be safe. Take care of each other.
Yeah, I love you.
Now that I know that you're both doing good, I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry." Kisses Nate on the cheek, kisses Talah on the cheek, goes, "All right, Mike, let's go." And Mike reaches down and just wraps you up in his big arms, Talah, and picks you up for a big hug. "Don't forget, you're going to teach me to talk to bees."
I'm going to do my best.
You always do. And he puts you back down and kind of ducks out, and they start walking down the street, and you hear as the door turns, like, "Oh, she's just the best. I'm so proud of both of them. They're turning out to be such great young people." Yes, dear. And that's the last thing you hear as the door shuts.
I miss them.
Yeah. It's. I think he really missed us. That was a lot.
Yeah. It didn't help that someone put a bit of extra oil on the fire.
What a beautiful family reunion. It touches the heart.
Yeah, now imagine if you
you-
didn't have emotions yet.
Well, that would have been absolutely non-caring and not seeing the point of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you okay now, Othokent?
Why wouldn't I be okay?
Well,
I'm
there-
warm.
You've been
well,
crying from laughing. so much.
Yeah. That-
I've never seen or heard that much laughter from you.
You're
Well,
pushing
I'm-
him back into the laughter.
Well, why
no.
wouldn't I be laughing?
Well,
Everyone's in a-
we've been hearing that for years, right? So it's not really funny anymore.
Well, Abraham's in a lot better mood. He seems to have calmed within himself. Everyone's doing all right. There was no casualties during our little scuffle. Gobs might be a bit overtired, but last 2 days have just been an absolute joy for the most part.
Hmm.
Everything's going great. It is a time for merriment and laughter. Besides, I think that if you took your life story and made it into a sitcom, you would gain quite a lot of viewers. I will say, though, Nathaniel, I was about to offer your father a medically prescribed diet so he could eat some more meat in his daily life.
Oh, would you do that? I mean, not that my mom's gonna listen, but I think that would at least help him a little bit.
It's just I could see his longing in the eyes, and I saw the tear after what he was told. Almost sad, really. Meat's great. It's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, your mom has had him on a heart-healthy diet as far back as you can remember. She's always been nervous because of how big he is, the heart issues that abnormally big people have. So he's been like egg whites and and oatmeal and chicken instead of steak, like since he was like before you were born.
Yeah.
If nothing else, if you ever need any of your family members to have a checkup, I'll do it at family discount.
It's just a note that says he can eat meat.
It'll only cost you a leg.
What?
I'm kidding.
Oh, that. Right. Yeah.
I'll go hunting for one. I'll bring it back. Wait, no, not literally. Comes back with a deer leg.
What has happened, Mr. Grissom? Like you I would say you're almost positive.
I've had time and the ability to reconsider a lot of things from my past.
Yeah. I'm just very happy to see you. Can I actually hug you? I really want to.
You can only do better than I did.
Otho face
I-
planted.
You tripped on the door frame.
And then he
Nathan's
face
going
planted.
for the hug.
And he stiffly just kind of takes it and does a half-hearted reach around with one
Pat,
arm
pat.
and pat on the back.
Yeah, it's
there-
a strong hug. Like
There,
halfway
there,
lifting
child.
you off the ground.
Pip,
Please
no need
don't,
to break his
please.
bones.
I'm old.
Pip.
Oh yes.
I know how to cast banishment. Stop.
Yeah. Okay. I'm done. I really wanted to give you a good old hug.
Misty step out
I
of there.
feel like you've needed it. Oh,
Hey.
oh.
No, it's like I was about to Misty step out of there. No, he's not actually doing it.
Okay.
He's saying it.
I can finally breathe.
I'm not that strong.
I'm old.
You're not that old anymore.
Yes, but so many things inside my life been hardships for me. I don't what's the word I'm looking for? The vigor for life is not so strong in me anymore.
I see.
It's a whole mental thing. I'm used to being old.
Well,
I
for
think I
one,
get
I'm
it.
glad you're here.
But I told
Very
you he
glad.
just needed some time on his own.
Yeah. We need you, Mr. Grissom.
Yes. And we need to get back to the city. We have things to do.
Oh, definitely.
Yes. And I need to deliver this. Oh, I need to find some linen so I can transport this properly.
Well,
Hall closet.
all I
Thank
can
you,
say
sir.
is everybody needs an Abraham.
Hmm. Hmm. You just want my
Especially Rob.
bird. Everybody's after my birds.
I mean, if your shoulder feels empty, I would climb up there, but I don't think your bag can take it.
I
mean,
got
I
spells
can-
to make you smaller.
And I can turn into a raven. Or a crow.
So, here's what we do. We turn Talah into a bird, and you make your Roscoe smaller, and then Talah can be on your shoulder, and Roscoe can be on Talah's shoulder.
Alright,
This
so...
sounds complicated.
And then you can be on my shoulder. And Nathaniel can take the picture.
Sure.
And then we're gonna be wearing a trench coat and pretending that we're not Otho, Abraham, Talah, and Roscoe in a trench coat.
Two birds, a dude, and a lizard in a trench coat.
At the very top, you just see a tiny little beaked face.
Pretending to be a dragon.
Yeah.
To sneak into an adult dragon movie.
Hmm.
All right. Well, as the afternoon becomes evening, everybody settles in. Take one last night of rest in the Yager household before beginning the journey back to the city of Gilgamesh, where new events will unfold and they'll decide what the next steps on their journey of how to deal with Carrie, what to do about the cube, and who knows, maybe a certain kitty cat that doesn't like Talah very much will show back up in the near future. Have to see what happens next. But for now, that's all of our time for today, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye!
Bye.
Next time on City of Gilgamesh, Abraham
Great.
learns nuclear physics.
No, Abraham does not need more destructive power.
Kaboom!
Kaboom.
And
Yes.
shattering kaboom.
There's supposed to be a
You're
kaboom.
shattering
Shattering kaboom.
Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.